getting flashbacks, guys, from Deliverance, the Burt Reynolds movie Deliverance. It's scary. I know, it's scary. All right, guys, we're going to save you some money here. All right? Don't get that Deliverance thing out of your mind, okay? It's sick. All right, here's what we're doing. I'm going to save you some money here. When you're goofing off and your bees are making queens and nothing's going on, you want to do this kind of stuff. Now, I just got off the phone with Man Lake, and of course, you know, when you deal with these guys, you got to have $100 worth of goodies to get free shipping. So what I did, I've ordered, you can see these frames here. These are actually my homemade ones. I made a ton of these. And actually, it wasn't a good idea making mediums from what I'm doing now. I'm making and selling 5-frame nukes. So, but I had quite a few people wanting honeycomb, comb honey, and you can take these and make your cut comb out of them. And you can, after they fill them out and cap them, you can actually sever the string and grab it with pliers, needle nose pliers, and pull it right through the comb. And I have a cutter, a 4-inch cutter that you can go bloop, 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 and you get 4 chunks out of this frame. Works really nice. You put it up in those Lexan containers, or they have the cheap clamshell ones, and you give them out for gifts. Now, if you go into Whole Foods or whatever, or you set up some kind of deal with a local health food store, and they'll let you do it. Those, I think Whole Foods is getting $18 for that 4-inch square of honeycomb. So it's a thought. You don't need all that raw round silliness and all that. No, you don't need none of that. You need that little 4-inch cutter and one of these contraptions right here. It's a medium frame. That cutter head goes right in. That 4-inch cutter goes in there. If you had a shallow frame, it's not going to work, I don't believe. No, it shouldn't work. Anyway, here's what I'm doing to save you a few bucks. All right, I've just ordered, like I said, I just got off the horn with Man Lake, and I got 100 deep frames, grooved top and bottom bar. So what I'll do, I'm going to use this string technique method. Okay, and what I use is toe. You can get this at a craft store. You could use hemp, but hemp's kind of, I'm not sure what they make toe out of. Maybe you guys can comment below what toe comes from. I haven't looked it up. I guess I could Google it, whatever. But you get a big roll like this, my guy, you can do a ton of frames like this with it. And I pre-drilled these myself. I set up that little drill motor in my vise, and I just come up here and flip it over and drill it. And let me show you what I'm doing here. Here's a crappy frame, a used frame, right? And it had a string in here at one time. But this hive went down. It went down, and so I went and melted everything out of it, pretty much. This one I didn't. I just ripped the wax out of it. But you just get your hive tool in here. Go back to bare wood. That's all there is to it. Grab your toe string. Get your T50 stapler. Put it in here and get your thumb right up against. Put it like that. Put it up against that end bar. Just kind of pin it there like that with your thumb. Push that stapler up against your thumb and hit it. Grab your upholstery hammer while you're still locked in and tap her down good and tight. Then you can flip it over. I'm sure there's other ways to do this that's faster, but I'm in no hurry. I got plenty of time. There's no bee work to do today. Actually, I did a little bee work this morning. I went to that other yard and I I went to that other yard and I had, you remember me pulling the, a lot of swarm cells and shoving them in them 2-frame nooks. Well, there was one over there, 2-frame nook, and I was supposed to open it on 4/11, and today is the 28th, 3/28, so I cheated a little bit. Every once in a while I get curious and I gotta cheat, you know. So anyway, I looked in there and there is a pretty Carnolian queen walking around in there. Looks like she just got back from her mating flight and she's thinking about it. She's walking around getting fattened up, getting ready to lay some eggs. So that was really cool. I like that. All right, I've got my tow string in here, right? You do that first. The reason you do that first is you got to put strings in here. You don't have to, but it's a good idea because these things are fragile if you don't. And all I did here was bored two 1/8-inch holes. So I just stick my string through here. This is, I just rigged up, I just clamped a piece of dunnage wood here and put a screw in there. And that's my reel set up. So then we just feed this string through. These are just projects you can do. You got time. Save yourself some money. I got some little 18 gauge. I don't know, I think they're 1 inch. Just leave them sticking up just a little bit. You get to hitting your fingers and you get a little sloppy with it, do this. Actually, you could take your Leathermans and do it. But you can take needle nose pliers and accomplish the same thing, stick it up there and go down. So you don't hit your fingers. But if you're a professional, you know, if you're just a professional like old Steve-O, then you don't, you know, you don't have that problem. All right, so what you do now is you wrap it around a few times. Sink her in. Grab it here, pull some tension on it, pull pretty good tension on it. So you know you have that deliverance banjo. You have that dueling deliverance banjo. And that's it. Now, is my wax ready? I think it is. Got a little crock pot here with my wax in it. It's got a lot more to go yet. And you just paint it on. Very simple. It's a beautiful thing, guys. It's a beautiful thing. That's it. You got a completed frame ready to go in a hive. And I'm going to be doing that with my deeps. Now, with the deeps I will assemble. I'll probably assemble them one at a time right here on the bench, and I've got a brad nailer with 1.5 inches in it, and I'll use Bondtite 3, and I'll assemble them right here on the bench. And probably what I'll do is I'll put the end bars on to the top bar first, flip it over, and I'll go glue it and go bang bang with my brad nailer on both ends, and then I'm going to shoot one here. Shoot one in right here. May even shoot two in there. Boom, boom. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's a slick trick to save you some money. And what I'm going to do these are going to be grooved top and bottom when I get them now, these deeps. I'm just going to come here like so, take my scissors, cut it. I'm going to shove it in the groove. I'm going to shove it right in that groove, push it down, and take my brush and smear a little wax on it, push it in that crack, and then I may come on top with one more. I'm going to play that by ear. I have not done that with my with grooves yet, but that's my thought. That's my thought on that. Shove one in, shove one of these toe strings in as a filler. Or I'm going to experiment. Like I said, I haven't done it before. I may just take my brush and run a little wax on there, have my strings pre-cut, and just take a tool, maybe my hive tool, and just shove that string in that crack. That'll fill it up pretty much to the top here, flush. And then maybe add one more. But this is all, that's all they need right there, that little bit of sticking up to pick up on and run that. And they will run you down the prettiest comb you've ever seen. It makes beautiful, if you're into cut comb honey, chunk honey, this is a great way to go. Save you some money, and you can make some money with that too if you want to fool with it. I don't fool with it. I just use all this honey I'm making. I feed it back to the bees to make more bees. That's what I'm all about, making bees. Not that sticky stuff. I'm over it, guys. I used to make that stuff by the 55-gallon drum, so I'm right here. I'm over it, right to here, okay? All right, guys, quick vid. Glad you came by Steve's Base Camp. And maybe this will give you some thoughts as to what you can do. Save a few bucks. Be happy. Be strong, because we got to keep getting her on. See ya.